What is going on, guys? Jason Burke here, Styles Clash for Life, coming at you on YouTube, and today I've got another edition of Tales from the Fort, where I review old classic horror movies, or any movies of any kind actually, and tell you guys whether they're worth watching, worth waiting for, or worth skipping altogether. I'm calling this one a Tales from the Fort and not a drive-in because this one is a little bit older, not really older, but old enough to not be a brand new release. It is a 2017 release. I'm talking about what I consider a modern masterpiece, The Shape of Water. This film got a lot of attention in 2017. It won many awards, or at least it was up for many awards. It was widely talked about and considered one of the better psychological horror, thriller, drama, kind of genre-bending movies of that time. It was widely considered one of the best things in cinema right then, and I didn't get the chance to watch it until this past December. Now, I'm going to admit to you guys, this review is going to be one of the more kind of generalizations, one of my weaker reviews, because I should have rewatched it a second time before I did this review, but I did not. I meant to watch this film a long time ago and do a review for it. I watched it back in December finally of 2020, and then it's been like 3 months since I've seen it, so the review is going to be kind of a general review. It's going to be very kind of off the cuff, trying to recall back to what I saw. But I think it's still worth reviewing because the film stands out in so many ways. The Shape of Water is a 2017 film that runs 2 hours and 3 minutes. That generally is a long time for me, but this movie, not so much. When you have very well fleshed out characters and you tell a good story, 2 hours does not feel like 2 hours. In most cases, I would say that runs a little bit long, and I usually look for ways to shave down the film in that case. When it goes over the hour and 45-minute mark, I start looking for ways to shave the film down and make it tighter to make it a better watch. In this case, I don't think it needed to be shaved down at all. So it's a 2017 release, written and directed by Guillermo del Toro, starring Sally Hawkins as Eliza, Doug Jones as the Amphibian Man, and Octavia Spencer as Zelda. And The Shape of Water essentially reads like a modern-day version of Creature from the Black Lagoon. Now, upon doing research for this review, I saw that Del Toro initially wanted to do a Creature from the Black Lagoon sequel, and that's what this script was meant to be. They tried to do a Black Lagoon sequel like 10 or 12 different times in the last 20 years, and every time it gets started, it never gets finished. There's always something with the studios or budget or time or whatever. So all of their attempted reboots of this film have not gone through, but at one time, Del Toro was hired to pen and produce or direct a Gilman sequel for Black Lagoon, and it never officially happened, but Del Toro calls this his Black Lagoon sequel, essentially, because it is kind of a modern retelling of that story. Basically, Sally Hawkins plays Eliza, who's, if I can recall, a mute. She does not speak. She's very quiet. She doesn't audibilize anything. She's socially awkward. She's reclusive. She's to herself. And basically she works at this science factory where all these different experiments and things are going on, and she comes to find out that in the basement they are keeping this half amphibian, half man, this modern creature that has both sea and human proprieties and different things in his DNA. So he's half Gilman and half amphibian, half human. So they keep this man in a tank and they study him socially and they study his psychology and his makeup and see what makes him tick and all this stuff because he is the first of his kind that they discovered. So very much like the Gilman and the sequels of Black Lagoon from the original 40s Universal Monster series. And it plays out very much like that, where Sally Hawkins winds up falling for him. She sees the human side of this amphibian man, and she starts to bond with him. She has her lunches with him. She sneaks down on her breaks to go visit him. She breaks a lot of personal protocol. So it's her trying to keep her job and not get in serious trouble, but also kind of bond with this creature. And through the bonding, she realizes that once the creature is no longer any use to them, they want to go on torturing and possibly killing this creature. So she starts to risk her not only her job, but her personal safety and life to free this creature and escape with him, to live a life with him because she falls in love with him. So I love stories that kind of villainize humans because in reality, we as humans have this innate principle that we take really good things and make them bad. I don't want to get too sociological here or too societal, I should say. But if you look at things like social media, You look at things like holidays, you look at things like food, like relationships. We all tend to take things that are inherently good properties. They're good things for us, and we abuse them and make them bad for us. And that is what we do in a lot of the old monster movies. In a lot of the horror films, you see the creature in themselves being good things. But because of the way we use and abuse them and turn them into things for our benefit, they become bad things. Like Creature from the Black Lagoon, like Frankenstein's monster in the original 30s movies, like a lot of these modern character studies with these 80s and 90s slashers. We take something that could be used for good and we weaponize them and torture them, and they become evil. And that is the principle of what happens here. So it's humans taking a creature they don't really understand and trying to abuse it. So Sally Hawkins is left trying to save it. And you've got, I didn't write down a lot of the other characters, but they're caricatures. They're done as an over-the-top version of themselves, almost like in a 30s or 40s film, but they're also done well. Octavia Spencer in the background playing Zelda, who's the best friend and co-worker of Sally Hawkins here. Really, really well done. Funny, good character relief. You have the one main boss in this who's like the army big muscle guy who does whatever he can for his job. He sees nothing bad about what he's doing. He will do whatever it takes to be the alpha male and be the leader on this project to abuse the amphibian man. Doug Jones in the suit playing the amphibian man is great. The movements are great. It feels realistic. Couple things that stand out about this. Obviously, in a sci-fi slash drama slash horror film, you want to have good effects. The effects of the amphibian man, I guess the suit that he's in, the usage of his movements. I'm not sure how much of that is real costuming and makeup and how much of that is special effects and all that. But whatever it is, the makeup and the special effects are on point in this film. They look flawless. They look great. They are larger than life, but they are not done in a cheesy way. Also, I should have written down cinematographer here because the way this is shot is so beautiful. There's one particular scene that I won't spoil where the Eliza character and the amphibian man character are in the bathroom together and water's overflowing and they're finding their love and their connection for each other through touch. They're bringing each other to life, basically, in a romantic sense. They're bringing up new senses of each other. And you just see this great water scene where it's kind of half standing and half underwater. Also later on toward the end of the film when they come to their climax, when the characters are in the water together, you just see really beautiful, just the way it's shot, just the lenses they use, just the way they use the dual surfaces of the water and the characters. I love the way this is shot. The sound design as well. The music they use is very classical style. It has a bit of a tension to it. To show you kind of when things are happening, but also has this lovely dramatic romantic feel to it. It's very much symphonic, kind of like they went for in the original Black Lagoon. It has a flowy symphony, kind of a romantic ballroom quality to it that really accentuates the moments here and makes you feel for the characters. You genuinely want to see what the amphibian man is going to do. You don't know where he's going to turn, what's going to set him off. You want to see Sally Hawkins as Eliza, awakening herself, finding parts of herself, finding her sexuality, finding love, finding compassion, bonding with this larger-than-life character. And again, the background characters, even though I'm not talking too much about them, they all did a great job in accentuating their extreme characters. The script was well written. Everyone's dialogue is great. There's some funny moments. There's some dramatic moments. There's some torturous human elements in this that make you hate certain characters. Again, you're glued to the screen in this 2 hours that flows by fast because it's beautifully shot, it's beautifully cast, it's well acted, it's well written, and it's well directed. This is one of Del Toro's best films, in my opinion, if not his best film. I like a lot of his work, but this one is right at the forefront. How I waited 3.5 years to see this film, I will never know, and I wish I had watched it again more recently to give you guys an accurate portrayal. But from what I can recall and the details that I'm reliving in this review, I'm going to give this film an 8 out of 10. Without spoiling anything, it is a character study. It is dialogue is accurate. It is a very deep psychological movie with a lot of elements to it. So whether you like horror, drama, romance, thriller, there's something in this for everyone. And if you just want to watch a flowy cinematic masterpiece that is well shot, well scored, this movie is for you. 8 out of 10, The Shape of Water. If you've seen it, what did you think? If you've seen it a long time ago and you think I'm an idiot for waiting so long, tell me in the comments below. If you like this review, please go check other reviews of mine that I've watched more recently that sound probably more coherent and more put together well put together. I can't talk today. Please like, share, and subscribe this review if you guys want to see more acting on my channel, more of my films, more sports stuff, more film reviews. Tell me in the comments below, like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you guys soon. Take care.